Yeah. Welcome, Cowboys Nation. Woo! I still got a voice. Got Michael Myers back there because it's scary season. Oh. Cowboys win 20-16, and it was indeed rush hour. Welcome to the post-game show presented by Freeman Mazda. If you're searching for a new, used, or Mazda certified pre-owned vehicle in the Dallas-Fort Worth area, shop at Freeman Mazda of Irving, Texas. They have been a family-owned business for over 60 years. They have new inventory arriving daily, including the 2021 Mazda CX-5. And now stop by Freeman Mazda in Irving, Texas, or go to freemanmazda.net. Jesse Holley, Skywalker Still, Texas Live. They did it.
Wow.
They did it.
Wow.
A resilient game. I couldn't be more. Hey, I told y'all, I will be glad to eat the crow.
Give me a piece, too.
You want some?
Thank you.
Have some. Have some, sir.
Zeke
Have
style.
some, sir.
Zeke style.
This crow tastes so good.
Wow.
Because it was a Cooper rush.
You got to play it. Oh,
I gotta play it.
What a
I gotta
rush.
play it. I gotta play it one time because he deserves it.
Man.
Okay, Cooper Rush, I see you, big guy. 300 yards, 2 touchdowns, including the game winner in the fourth quarter with less than a minute left to go. I could not be more happier to see Cooper perform like that, and more so under pressure. Under pressure.
If you would have told me that Cooper Rush would have thrown the ball 40 times and Cooper Rush would have had 341 yards, with Amari Cooper having 122 and CeeDee Lamb having 112 and Cedric Wilson having 84, I would have called you a liar.
A liar.
I would have said that you were drunk. I would have said that you've been doing some sort of illegal substance. Cooper Rush, we talked about people having to play outside of their mind today. Look no further than Cooper Rush.
Yeah.
He didn't have a great first half. I think he had maybe 100-something yards in the first half.
And just a lot of bad throws and interception and things like that. But he responded. And you want to see that. We had no evidence of Cooper.
Right.
The first half evidence was not great. But I think this second half, this is something that you can carry for the rest of the year if you're Cooper Rush and the Dallas Cowboys.
Yeah, and I think one of the things that the Vikings did that may have hurt them in the long run was that they gave Cooper Rush a lot of those just, hey, take the 5-yard throw. Mm-hmm. Well, take the 5-yard throw. And I think what that did was give him a rhythm, give him a confidence. When that ball started coming out and started getting completions.
Wilson touchdown was huge.
That was huge. And this game was close. And they're saying on the text, like, I apologize, Cooper Rush.
Hey, here's our crow.
I apologize.
We are.
I was wrong.
Let me get something to drink with that crow. Hey, Nick, give me something to drink with this crow.
I was wrong because that was
love it.
That was a performance of a lifetime. You had your families in attendance, and you went on the road.
He's from Minnesota. He went to Minnesota, didn't he?
I don't even remember. Maybe he probably did, but you had your family there. You performed outside of your mind, and we all thought at the beginning of the game, like, why are we resting Dak? What about this and what about that? Dak can go. We should play. And he came in and he made all of the naysayers, myself included, eat crow and say, you know what? We rested him because I got it.
Yeah.
We rested him because
Eastern Michigan. Okay, I'm sorry, guys.
I can carry the load. And he put this team on his back in the second half. They only had 78 yards rushing. We thought this had to be a heavy rushing game.
We talked about playing out of your minds. The defense, I don't know if if the defense is doing this.
Yeah.
Guys, this isn't just a division team. This isn't just we'll get to the wild card team. The defense shut down. down
Yeah.
Dalvin Cook. He had 2 runs of over 10 yards. That was it.
Yeah.
Outside of those runs, and that was, again, like right in the beginning of the series, and after that was clamps. And if there was a defensive MVP today, Micah
11.
Parsons.
Number
ladies
11.
and gentlemen. How many tackles did he have? It seemed like he was all over the dang on place.
I'm sure he had 15-something tackles.
At least close to, yes,
He had
11. 11 tackles, 10
solo.
were solo.
4 for loss.
4
Tackle for loss.
tackles for loss.
Yeah. He let everyone.
He almost lapped them.
He doubled everybody.
And when you go and look at what they call a stop, which is a negative play for the offense, you'll probably see out of his 11 tackles, I would say probably 7 or 8 of them were stops.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why I love him at middle linebacker. Some credit to Justin Hamilton too, but right behind Micah Parsons today, ladies and gentlemen, was one Randall Gregory again. I mean, he just was a terror, and I can't wait to see D-Law opposite of him because, my gosh, oh, yeah, he's going to get – hey, man, listen, you better franchise him. Something got to happen with Randy Gregory. I mean, he's a menace. He was this close to getting another strip sack in that game and just was putting Darisaw and whoever else it was on their heels. This defense, I mean, it showed me something today.
Yeah, they did. You called it in the pregame, was guys had to play outside of their mind.
Outside of mind.
And this defense did. They stepped up today. The calling was on them.
Yeah.
The calling was on them for the defense to step up and to do something to help their team. And you held out. I mean, 10 points at the half for the Minnesota Vikings at home against a backup quarterback. The defense held their own today. Diggs didn't get keep his interception streak alive, and that's fine. But this defense showed up today. Dalvin Cook under 100 yards, and he has notoriously killed the Cowboys. He has been Jason Voorhees, to have a spooky Halloween reference, killed the Cowboys, and he, as a whole, he didn't have any receiving yards. He didn't have any. Dalvin Cook had no receiving yards and only 78 rushing yards. What a tremendous job Dan Quinn and that defense did in holding down one of the best running backs in the league, and one who's, like I said, notoriously killed the Cowboys. And the same thing they did. We talked about Justin Jefferson, and we talked about
Thielen seemed to be shut out in the second half.
Justin Jefferson had 2 catches for 21 yards.
And we were all worried about it. We don't got the tape, but just right off of the bat, man, when you see Thielen has 6 for 78, and most of that was in the first half. When you see Justin Jefferson held to 2 for 21, and Kirk Cousins, 23 for 35, $184.
Wow.
And most of that probably happened in the first drive. You know what I mean? And again, we talked about this during the week on our show here. It looks like Kirk hasn't been sacked a lot because he hasn't, but a lot of that has to do with him getting the ball out of his hands so quickly. But that offensive line is not a great offensive line, and it was always about getting him off his spot.
Right.
And in the second half, they did that. I mean, really the whole game, except the first drive, they did that. And let's be frank, the other 3 points they got in that fourth quarter, 95% of it was off of ridiculous penalties. Some of them, maybe one boneheaded one, but the rest were ridiculous. Nonetheless, though, the defense was outstanding today. We knew they had to be. They kept the game close, and Cooper Rush finished it. Who would have thought? Who would have said that?
Not me.
Not me.
Not me.
I thought the defense, and I kept saying this on Twitter, I said the defense is going to have to get a turnover to score a touchdown. The defense is going to have to put the Cowboys in position to get points. They didn't, but they got stops. The Vikings won, I believe, for 13 on third down.
Wow.
1 for 13. That's elite level defense. 61 plays for the Vikings, 68 for Dallas, 419 total yards. This Cowboys offense can just.
And the big thing that was huge for them was that last drive when Minnesota had kind of marched the ball all the way down the field and gotten to the red zone, and they held them to 3. They didn't let them get in the end zone. And that was big,
that
man,
was
to run to be walked all the way down the field and then not give up the touchdown.
They gave up a first and goal twice. And held them to 3 points.
Wow.
Interesting question here. JT Prime 21. Do you guys think Cooper Rush played well enough to start next week to give Dak more time to get health? That's an interesting one to have a conversation about.
He did.
Yeah.
He did. And you gotta feel that they play Denver next week. And I don't think Denver is a better team defensively.
I don't even know if they won
than
The Vikings. I'm not sure at all. I know they have a Von Miller, but today they had a Griffin, and today they had a Harrison and today Smith, and today they had Hunters and Dalvin Tomlinson. So we know this offense can answer. And let me see, because Denver played Washington, and they did win. Okay,
they did win. Yeah.
Yeah. So they're coming off a win.
So I mean, I think Dak plays. Honestly, I mean, he got this close today.
Yeah.
Right. He was literally game time decision, and I think you give him some more rest this week, and you play him. The thing that I am worried about, 2 significant injuries in this football game. Tyron Smith left in the first half and did not return with the ankle injury. He was limited all week in practice with the same ankle injury, and it popped up in the game, and he didn't finish the game. And at the end of the game, Trayvon Diggs left the game with an apparent ankle-foot injury.
The guy ran into his ankle as he's falling.
Yeah, and he was on the sideline with not only with Jim Mara, the head trainer, but he was there with Dr. Cooper as well. And anytime Dr. Cooper is hovering around a situation, that can be a little bit scary. So I'm hoping that was just something that we can look past, and just say, hey, you know what, tape it out. We'll be ready to go next week. But those are 2 significant injuries to look at.
I didn't peep Dr. Cooper.
Dr. Cooper was standing right over top, and they were looking at almost like the side of his ankle or foot type area. So I'm hoping and praying that it was just maybe a bruise or maybe just a little bit too much contact there, and that it'll be ready to go next week. But not having Trayvon Diggs potentially and not having Tyron Smith potentially, that is definitely something that I'll be looking out for all this week, because
that's huge.
That's huge.
Man, Jesse Holley here, Skywalker Still, A to Z Sports Dallas post-game show presented by Freeman Mazda. Cowboys get the victory 20-16 in a nail-biter. A little bit of sombering news there. Hopefully, maybe as we're doing this post-game show, we'll hear a little bit more about Diggs. Yep. That's how we found out about Dak Prescott. I figured the Tyron, we know Tyron's due. We say it all the time. He's due for 2 to 3 games every year. Hopefully, here's the thing. Nsekhe played a little bit better in that second half. He still was getting pushed some, but I mean, hey, they answered the bell. That doesn't mean I don't want to see Lyle Collins next week if Tyron is out, which I expect Tyron to be out. So especially if Dak can't play. So we'll keep our eyes on the Tyron injury. We'll keep our eyes on the Trayvon Diggs injury. But without a doubt, guys, this game came down to who can make the play on offense, and Cooper Rush did it. And you got to give him kudos. Somebody said Cooper Rush is invited to the cookout. Not just the cookout. I'll just tell you right now, he's sitting at the grown folk table, the big mama table. He might even be the master chef tomorrow after that second half. I got to give him kudos. And on Twitter, I said, how funny is it? The play before the touchdown, the 73-yarder, he threw an atrocious pass.
Yeah.
The next play, he hits.
You screamed, too. You screamed. You said a cuss word.
Oh, well, I say a lot of cuss words during the game. So
in front of your mom, too.
Which one? My bad, mama.
Tell you apologize to your mom. He's sorry.
This ain't new during the games.
Oh.
Yeah, I have to put. She got. How little kids got to put their. I gotta tell my mom put her. Got a custard jar. I put the quarter in it. But no. I forgot what I was saying now because you're talking about my the pass.
The pass before the touchdown to Cooper.
Before the touchdown to Cooper, and then the touchdown not to Cooper. I'm talking about to Cedric Wilson.
Oh, okay.
I said that touchdown may have saved Cooper Rush, be it from the bench or be it from himself. He needed something to get his confidence going, and boy did that. He started making. Me and Nick were talking. Just give your receivers a shot on those deep balls. I'm not asking you to be Dak Prescott and put it in the bucket. And he gave Cooper a shot on that final drive, and it was a circus catch, but he caught it. Don't overthrow. And he answered the bell. I've gained a ton of confidence from Cooper. When you can do these things on the road, just back-to-back road games, where the Cowboys have had to answer against the home crowd.
Would you feel confident starting him again? Is this something that he can
I won't feel like I felt
do?
coming into this game, Jesse.
Okay.
I won't.
I respect that.
Confident, I think so. I mean, this is raw, right?
Right.
Like this is raw emotions after that, a beautiful, throw and catch to win the game.
That was a beautiful.
Just executed so well. It's hard to say no. Do I want to see it? Absolutely not. But if Dak is not 100%, I go into that game much more confident than I went into this game.
You know what? I would have to agree with you because we said coming into this game, well, we have nothing to.
Had nothing. We didn't have anything to be confident about.
To go on. We had nothing to go on, and for him to come out tonight, and I think the biggest thing is just being on the road. Like that is critical. Being on the road in a place that can get deafening, losing your left tackle, and still being able to go out there and perform. And we go back to giving coaches credit. Like this game, like game balls.
Yes.
Like game balls have to go to the 3 coaches.
Yes.
Like Kellen Moore gets a game ball because he didn't change the game plan. They were 5 wide. They were 5 wide on the goal line.
Nick, we were upset, you know. And then listen, had the Cowboys lost this one, boy, they was coming. They would have came for not only Kellen but Connor, which. When I watched the play, that was obviously a holding, but I'm like, why are we in 5 wide on 2nd and 3? And then the holding happened at the end of the throw.
Right.
What are we doing? You're putting your offensive line in a compromising situation with a backup quarterback and 2 backup tackles.
Yeah.
Not a glitch. That was a big glitch from Kellen, but I'm not awesome playing by Kellen.
I think Kellen said, listen, here's what we're going with. Like, I feel confident in these calls. I feel confident. And you made this point early in the game. I feel confident about the guys around him.
And that's what we talked about, right? Coming into the game. I need everybody to elevate Cooper. Cooper's not going to elevate you.
Right.
I need you to elevate him.
So in the sense of, well, how do I get my guys on the outside in the best position possible? Well, those calls come out of this 5 wide receiver set. They don't come out of, 2 receiver sets or 13 personnel. So they just kind of stuck to the script and said, you know what? If we're going to lose this thing, we're going to lose this thing going out our way. We're not going to conform and transform and do something that we're not. And Kellen Moore stayed true to who he was.
He did.
Mike McCarthy. And we kill Mike McCarthy for terrible clock management.
That's what I was about to point at. I was pointing at that. Go ahead.
I didn't see it, but we kill him for terrible clock management. Terrible clock management. But Mike McCarthy, towards the end of that game, he banged a timeout to get his pass rushers back on the field. And so if we're going to kill Mike McCarthy for every time he makes a bonehead blunder, and you saw Zimmer make a bonehead clock management, it happens. It happens to all the coaches across the league. But give Mike McCarthy credit for having some confusion. Some guys come off the field. The 2 balls are on the field. They stopped the play, and he said, whoa, hold on. Timeout. Randy, we're not putting – you won't be watching this play. We need you to go out there and make this guy uncomfortable. And so credit to him for that. Credit to Dan Quinn for just having these guys ready to play, man. So game balls to Kellen Moore, game balls to Mike McCarthy, game balls to Dan Quinn from the coaching staff. They really showed up and showed out today.
I have to be honest with you. I think this was the best defensive game from the Dallas Cowboys this year. And that's without me really digging and thinking hard. But think about this for a second. You played Mike Glennon. I don't really care what you did against him. And they didn't have Saquon. That was a bad offense. Jalen Hurts, he's not a good quarterback. They didn't run the ball at all. Who cares? Sam Darnold, right?
Right.
The only one you can maybe say is the Chargers, but the Chargers blew it a ton in the red zone, and they still had a lot of good plays. This Thielen, Jefferson, Cook, Kirk Cousins was having his best year. Like, they thwarted all of that.
Yep.
All of that. This is such a confidence builder all around. And, yes, Cowboys Nation, while we're loving this crow, it tastes so good for Coop.
Yes.
I need y'all to eat the same crow from Mike McCarthy, okay? And feel good about it. It is okay to acknowledge that Mike McCarthy is 6-1 with 2 backup tackles, a backup quarterback on the road in Minnesota. That is a hell of a way to keep your team engaged, right? Knowing that throughout the week, Dak, is he playing? Is he not playing?
Right.
Tyron Smith, is he playing? Is he not playing? He comes out all year. This team has not been – now, most teams aren't healthy, right? But there's been massive injuries to this team, and they've done nothing but answer the bell. Mike McCarthy deserves a crap ton of credit until he does something that cost the Cowboys from a boneheaded decision. Can we shut up about it? Seriously, I have to just be frank. Can we shut up? Your team is 6-1. 2 back-to-back victories against 2 defensive-minded head coaches on the road. Okay, you're playing for a number 1 seed. Let's put some respect on that man's name. I digress. I had to do that.
No, you're absolutely right, and we have to remind people often because if with the same vigor you do and you kill him with for other reasons, use that same mouth to give him praise because he played. I mean, he's coached this team, and despite what you made, it's Dan Quinn, it's Kellen Moore. It don't happen unless Mike McCarthy makes it happen.
Listen.
And keeping these guys in tune, locked in, everything, like practices and everything, keeping these guys engaged. We watch these guys not be engaged and not play well and not do all those different type of things and take chances because most guys would have said, all right, Terrence Steele, you're gone.
Thank you.
You know, that's a Mike McCarthy call. That ain't a Dan Quinn or Kellen Moore call.
I can't wait to look at the now. The nail went out very early in that game, but it seemed like Terrence held up very well with his guy. In the second, he had a little trouble. But, I mean, think about this for a second, man. Your starting wide receiver's been out for most of the year. Your starting right tackle's been out for most of the year. Excuse me. Your left tackle's been in and out the last 2 games. Your quarterback went down. Your quarterback was out all preseason and had to go into the game bucket naked, basically, in week 1. You know, all these things compounded. COVID, all the injuries, suspensions, just so much. And your boys are 6-1.
Yeah.
That is a testament to the culture. That is a testament to the CEO of your team.
Yep.
That just is, guys. And there's no more of that. What does he do? It's clear what he does. He's building, what did he say? I'm building a championship program.
Yep.
Your Dallas Cowboys are in the driver's seat to be a championship type of team, period. All Packers, Rams, Bucks, Cowboys, whoever in the AFC, because I think the NFC is better at this moment, Dallas is in that conversation.
Absolutely.
That's not a hyperbole. It's not a hyperbole. And I'm hyped right now.
No, you have every right to be.
This is a fun victory.
This is a huge this victory carries so much weight. It can carry so much momentum for the rest of the season because you have these type of wins give you so much belief and so much confidence in every area of your football team.
You heard him talk about it from the Pats game. Anthony Brown was on the sideline on the sideline sounds from sidelines. He said, "Man, if we get this win, this is going to be huge for our confidence."
Right.
Quentin Bohanna came on the show last week or 2 weeks ago and said that win was massive for our confidence moving forward. And this has to be the same thing. We can win without that. Like that is huge. Not saying you can win all your games, but it does. You don't need all the games without that.
And when you talk about a 17-game season, you're going to have moments where a guy goes down, 2 guys go down, things get rough, things look, you look defeated, and guys being able to step up week in and week out. And it seemed like we've called someone else's name from doing something. Yes, we've called, Trayvon Diggs, but you've seen Randy Gregory have, great plays. You've seen
Jordan Lewis today.
Jordan Lewis have plays.
Standout game.
Jaron Kearse would have a play. I mean, you got guys all over the Carlos Watkins made some plays today. I mean, every time you turn around, there's a new guy coming in making plays, and that just leaves you in a place where you're just like, man, we are so deep all over this field that any guy can make a play. And this is contagious. This type of winning is contagious, and guys want to be a part of it. Guys want in on this. You don't have to worry about guys showing up late. You don't have to worry about guys staying late and not watching film, or guys not getting their treatment, because everybody wants to be a part of this. They want to be in the meetings. They want to be on the practice field. They want to be on the games. They want to be on the plane rides because this is fun. I promise you, this plane ride home from Minnesota tonight, it's going
to be lit.
It's going to be crazy.
It's going to be lit.
Because the boom box going to be jumping. For somehow, some way, beers and liquor always find their way onto the planes. You don't know how it ever gets there, but next thing you know, you're looking up and the bottle's passing your seat in your row and all that kind of crazy stuff. So they're going to have, and they should. You should enjoy football
this.
Is so hard.
Fans enjoy this too, okay?
It is so hard to win a football game. Not a season, one game. It is so hard to win one game, and you should enjoy this game. And I am. You guys know my Twitter. Hit me up and say, I told you, Jesse. I'll take it. I'll take it.
Listen,
I'll take it.
What did we say at the pregame? We want to eat this.
I want to be
so
wrong.
Bad.
I want it to be wrong.
But I couldn't give you. I had to be real with y'all.
Right.
I couldn't go into this with a blind optimism that Cooper Rush was going to have a game-winning drive. I didn't know. I didn't see anything like Cooper Rush in the preseason yet. We didn't see it. And the fact that we've seen it, you asked me, do I have confidence next week if he has to play? It's hard for me to say no. How do I not? How do I not? There was one point, though, in this game where I was like, Cedric Wilson might have to be our quarterback. Said through a rope, right? He went 1 for 1, 35 yards on that nice trick play.
Yeah.
But the more and more Cedric Wilson plays. And I promise y'all, I am not trying to do this on a victory Sunday night. But, man, I would love to have Ced back.
Trade deadline is Tuesday.
No. You
might need a corner.
No.
Who knows what Trayvon Diggs' ankle or foot looks like?
Jesse, I got to hit you with one of these, Jesse.
Shut up. Say it again. Say something else.
I'm just saying. If you can get a good haul back for Michael Gallup. If you can get a good haul back for Michael Gallup, we might need another corner.
I can't address that right now, but maybe that's something that could be. I just can't.
You got all week to talk about it.
All week, I know.
Well, no, you don't. You got 2 days. You got Monday and Tuesday.
Yeah, Wednesday we move on.
Yeah. Trade deadline is over on Tuesday.
It's just that something you pointed out that we knew, but you just were pointing out as the game was going, was the versatility of Ced Wilson. And here's a crazy thing. He's not Amari Cooper. He's not CeeDee Lamb, but he does things that nobody else does on this team.
Yep.
He can do the trick play. He can return the punt. He can be the gunner, and he can be your third receiver.
Play outside. Play inside the slot.
They aren't doing, and that's not saying these guys are way better than Ced, right? We get that. But he's just so versatile. He allows you to carry 5 wide receivers in the game instead of 6 or 7, right? If you got that, so you can use an extra guy. It's going to be interesting. But I'm bringing him up because he deserves a lot of credit today.
Yeah.
You know, he played very well. He had over 100 yards total. We got to count the pass. That was a major pass.
Absolutely.
You know? Dime. He had 3 catches, 84 yards, obviously the 73-yarder, but he had some other important catches, and then the huge pass. So Ced, it's going to be tough. I usually only bring 3 folks to the grown folk table.
Oh, no, not tonight.
I don't think tomorrow it's about to be a family reunion.
Yeah, you got to get the extended table. You know, the kind of that you hit the latch and you pull it out some more? Yeah, you got to get one of them like that, you know.
It's going to be a family reunion tomorrow. I'm going to be real with y'all. Man. So Mark called Wilson a Swiss Army knife. And going back here to Parsons played a hell of a game. I would say career game.
Probably his best game.
Career game.
Probably his best overall game from the linebacking position. He was possessed. He was like a man on, like hair on fire. He was just all over the place. He made the one play from the backside where I think it was third and 1 or 4th and 1, 3rd and 1. He made the play from the backside on the running back going left. He's lined up on the left side of the defense, right side of the offense, and the team is going left, and he runs it down from the backside, tackle his legs so that he can get the first down. He was all over the place. He was all over the place.
You like that. That's why I keep talking about him being at LB, because you feel him.
Yeah.
And during the week when I had Okoye on, I said our linebackers, our defense needs to make Cook feel him. Mm-hmm. If you don't, they're just going to keep running it. And their passing game is predicated off that play action, and they couldn't get it off. Who was it? Basham and Gregory are all waiting there. That's coaching. Okay, that's discipline, knowing that be patient, okay? Mm-hmm. Kurt is going to roll out, and you just have to be there waiting for him, and they were, and he was off his spot. He was not comfortable, it seemed like, all game.
No, and when you look at containing Kirk Cousins, not letting him get those raw – because here's what ends up happening. When they do the play-action pass and they roll him out, all they want to do a lot of times is drag those receivers across. The field. And 9 times out of 10, if you have to run, you're always going to find yourself in some sort of trail technique when you got to run.
It's not possible to stay over top of them like that.
It's not, because either if you undercut it and you have no help behind you and they throw it over your head.
6.
If you stay on top, now they just flatten him out and they throw it in front of you and he catches it with your pass interference. So more often than not, the way you control that is being disciplined, staying at home, and when he goes to roll out, you say, no. Keep him in the pocket, make him uncomfortable, because he's not very elusive. He had some runners tonight, but he'd much rather stay in the pocket and deliver the ball down the field. And the Cowboys had a game plan. They executed it to perfection, and they had him under 200 passing yards.
200 passing yards, and again, I can't stress, guys, I can't stress it enough. 2 catches, 21 yards for Jefferson was frustrated in this game.
Yeah.
I won't know until we watch. I mean, how can I say that AB didn't play? He had to play well, right? I mean, I don't know. I didn't hear his name called. Besides that, that miss down the sideline. But, again, corners are going to get beat. Other than that, man, I have to hats off to AB again, right? I mean, this has to be a turning point. We did see Kelvin Joseph get snaps at the end of that game. Hopefully we don't have to see too much. I'm not saying that because I don't like Kelvin. It's just that if we see Kelvin Joseph next week, that means Diggs is out. We're going to monitor that. If any of my guys are great fans here, can let us know if they heard anything on AB or on Diggs. I'll look here on Twitter while we're – Twitter is funny. Twitter is a funny beast. Let me go look at some of these insiders to see. This is on the fly here, guys. We're trying to see if we got any news on Trayvon Diggs. I don't see anything just quite yet. So if you guys do, let us know, because that's big time, you know. That'd be a big-time loss, and that would, again, another thing added on that, you know, McCarthy and Moore and Dan Quinn will have to overcome. But at this point in the season, 6-1, how do you look at anything that happens at this point, aside from something season-ending, and say, I'm scared, or I'm they've given me all the confidence in the world that if they have to deal with something for a game or two, all right, cool, let's go do this.
I'm with you. I am, and I think this has finally capped it. Like because I'm always a believer, if you lose your quarterback, I always say we're screwed. And now maybe this is just one game, but they've answered the bell so many times. Like you said earlier, suspensions, COVID, injuries, all these different type of things, and all they do is just come on, next man. And we that term and that kind of phrase is kind of thrown around a little bit. Next man up, next man up, next man up.
It's been that way.
And sometimes when next man up, he ain't the man that's supposed to be up. Well, he ain't the man that you don't want up there for a long time. And the Cowboys all year long have just been next man up, next man up, next man up. And again, that goes back to the culture-setting tone that Mike McCarthy has brought to the Cowboys. When you say next man up, the next man up is actually a good dude.
Yeah.
Like Mike said Cooper Rush is the next man up. Cooper Rush said, thank you, Mike McCarthy. I'll be the next man up. I don't know how long I'm going to be the man up here, but while I'm up
Terrence
here, Terrence Steele, next man up. Ced Wilson, next man up.
Yeah.
I mean, there's guys all across the board where it's just been next man up, next man up, next man up, and they have been solid throughout this football season, and it's while we find ourselves sitting right here at 6-1.
So we got some updates here. Jabril Cox, right knee, then I heard ankle, so I'm not sure which one, but he's on crutches leaving the U.S. Bank Stadium, so he'll undergo MRI tomorrow. Tyron Smith has a sprained ankle. Okay, so sprained knee from Jabril Cox, sprained ankle from Tyron Smith, and nothing on Trayvon Diggs just yet. So those are the guys to keep our eyes on. Jabril Cox, he doesn't get many snaps. Tyron, I think it's probably the same ankle. I would have to imagine. Right?
It was the right ankle that they were looking at.
Okay. I'm not sure if that was the one he hurt last week, but I hope it's not two ankles that are sprained now. That would suck. But so keep an eye on Tyron. I mean, the fact that you have Lyle back, I would hope they would put Lyle Collins at one of these tackle positions and say, Tyron, we can rest you now for a few weeks, big fella, right? Because you feel confident resting Tyron Smith with Lyle back, in my opinion. That's how I see it. And then we'll see what happens with Trayvon Diggs. That one there, I mean, you might have no choice, but you're already down Maurice Kennedy. If you go down Trayvon Diggs, now you're probably playing Burton, who you don't want to keep going down the depth chart at cornerback.
Boss man fat, next man up.
Boss man fat be the next man up, and then Burton. But it's been next man up. It just has. You're right. It's been next man up. Trying to find some more updates here. Let me see. Let me do one more refresh right quick.
And we should be. This is fun.
Oh my goodness.
This is fun. Like, this is fun. When you go into a game, and I had a lot of doubt.
Oh my goodness.
About Cooper Rush doing anything in this football game, and boy, did he smack me in the face.
Smack.
And was like, shut up, bruh. You don't know what you're talking about. I got this. And you know the cool part about sports, like they kept showing his dad, his mom, and his wife and his family. Yeah. And like they were going through it with him. Like every throw, they were like going through it with him. They looked stressed out. The dad was covering his eyes sometimes. And that's
covering my eyes.
And that's the beauty of sports, man, is that you can have a guy, you can have Cooper Rush, no career starts, 3 attempts in his career, coming to the football game after a bye week. Your your starting quarterback is in the MVP conversation. Your team is looking at you saying, "Hey, big fella, we 5-1. We want to keep this thing rolling." You're on the road in Minnesota against a Mike Zim run defense, and you just do nothing but just go, okay. I'm going to throw over 300 yards and a couple touchdowns, and we're going to win the football game.
And that's here's the thing about this team. What they do every game, it seems to every week within the game, they answer adversity. Cooper Rush had every opportunity to shut down. He threw an interception. He threw some bad passes. He had the sack fumble. He had every opportunity to shut down, and he didn't. He responded, and you should love it. And if you're somebody that was like me going into this game scared as hell with Cooper Rush, for Cooper Rush, not necessarily for the rest of the team, but you didn't know anything about Cooper, you should come out this game with a lot of confidence. In winning a Super Bowl, I'm not saying all that, but if he has to play, right? I don't know if we talk about this on air or off air, but if you look at the Chiefs Super Bowl runs, one when they won it and one when they lost it, both times they relied on their backup quarterback to come in and have to win the game. And Dallas looks like that may have to be the case. So now you can say, all right, I believe in Coop. I believe in the other Coop. Believe.
Yeah, I don't know if I want Coop for a lot of games, though.
No, of course not.
Maybe if we have to go one more. But then by then I'm out. Like by then I want my guy back. I want QB1 back in there.
But if QB1 has to sit for like a series or two, right? Or if QB I mean, hell, I hate for it to be in a playoff game, God forbid. But we saw Matt Moore do it in the playoffs, and then, Patrick Mahomes came back in. I think it was Matt Moore. I could be wrong here. I don't think it was Matt Moore. Now I think about it. But anyway, he came back in and got him to the Super Bowl. But the point is, he needed himself to see this, right?
Yes.
Like he needed to do this. He needed to do this. And Dallas Cowboys Nation needed to see him do this so they could have real confidence.
Yeah.
I told you didn't know nothing. It was blind optimism, and that's fine. You're allowed to have that. Just say it is what it is. But now we have we got receipts.
Yes.
Right? We got receipts. But all right, man, Cowboys win 20-16. Yes, Thomas, what a freaking game.
Yes.
Make sure you guys tune in to both of us over this rest of the week on .com with Hanging with the Boys. Back on Hanging with the Boys, right?
Yeah, I'm back on Hanging with the Boys.
And then every morning with myself, A to Z Sports Dallas live in the morning, 8 a.m.-ish tomorrow. We going it's always ish. Definitely tomorrow because, boy, I'm going to get back here. It's going to be late. I got to put stuff back together. By the time you calm down
and put stuff back together and go through all the things that you're going to cut up and put out and all that kind of stuff, it'd be 1, 2 o'clock in the morning.
It's going to be a little late. Or I'm going to have to get up early and do it, And then it's going to be like a 2-hour show tomorrow. But it's fun. These type of shows are fun the next day. They're fun, And like Archie said, the defense seems real, so I can talk about every aspect of the game and enjoy it.
Yeah. Even
Greg DeLay got it together after the first miss, but nonetheless, I'm not going to read that. But nonetheless, man, the Cowboys get the victory, and I got to send us to church on the way out, man. I got. If anybody is calling you, maybe they ain't calling you or paging you or texting you or sending you emails. That's cool. Just send them this right here. Cowboys got the victory.
You got to put your victory shades on.
Oh, yeah.
R&B. Calling me, texting me, paging me, asking me, are you still involved?
Woo!
Calling me, texting me, paging me, asking me, am I still involved? Y'all usually check on me.
Yeah, I usually check on me. Check on me. I'm eating that
still
crow, baby.
boys.
I'm eating that crow.
Run that back one time. We got to run that back one time, baby. Hey, we out of here, man, but we going to leave on this note. Cowboys get the dub 20-16. Jay Holley, Skywalker still.
Asking me, are you still involved? Calling me, texting me, paging me, asking me, am I still in boys? Y'all usually check on me. Listen.